warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Masrafit Rahman, TF200118. We'll explain about the introduction. Okay, the introductions. What is the base flow? Base flow is the main component of stream flow, and it is a groundwater contribution to a stream. Okay, why I'm saying base flow is the main component? It is because base flow exceeds 50% of the overflow portion through bigger basins, and in hydrograph, it has slower movement compared to the interflow. Importance of the base flow. First, when we get the accuracy data of the base flow, we can secure the catchment ecological and get the water resources. Base flow also give the importance to groundwater discharge, which is it can maintain the water quantity and quality and give a useful data to regional scale about the groundwater conditions. Because of the important base flow, the base flow separation were used by the researchers. And in this slide, I will show the general method that frequently used, which is straight line method, intersection methods, and recession methods. We can use another base flow separation method, which is non-tracer or tracer method. Okay, what is the tracer? Tracer is achieved by the chemical and environmental isotope, but it is costly and we need to do the management in field. The second one is non-tracer. Okay, non-tracer we can achieve by the two methods. First, graphic and digital. Okay, non-tracer is more easier than tracer because we don't need to go outside to do the measurement. So in this study, we will focus on the non-tracer method, which is graphic and digital method.
Hi, my name is Charijing, and now I'm going to explain about the part comprehensive review. In this part, we have two methods, which is graphic method and digital method, to separate the base flow. I'm going to explain about the graphic method, which is UKIH and HISET method. UKIH method is based on the identification and interpolation of tuning points. After the selection of the tuning points, the base flow hydrograph is constructed by restricting the base flow line smaller than the stream flow hydrograph. The pros and cons of this method is it can be applied easily after the determination of the tuning points, but it has the poor estimation of the parameter of n, which it yields the constant of 5. HISET method consists of fixed intervals, sliding interval, and local minimum. The difference among these three methods is the selection of the low flow points. In this three methods, they have the same equation, which is n equals to a power over 0.2. N is the number of days where the stream flow ends, and a is the drainage area. The pros and cons of this method is it saves time and avoid inconsistency of manual method.
Good afternoon, doctor. My name is Antuoton. So now I want to present about L and H filter. So the equation is as the following, where Fk must more and equal than 0, and alpha could be 0.8, 0.925, and 0.95. Additionally, the filter was passed 2 times to nullify the phase distortion. So it has pros and cons, which is it is easy to automate and repeatable, and it requires no calibration, but it relies on its applied constraints. So next is treatment and extra filter. It aims to remove the uncertainties that the phase flow is constant in the period when the quick flow has ended. So the formula can be written as the following, where alpha equals the recession constant and is calculated by recession analysis. Next is the chart method. It is a new parameter BFI maximum which established two parameter digital filter method, which can be written as the following equation, where alpha equals to recession constant and BFI maximum equals to maximum base flow index. So it has also its pros and cons, which it is more plausible result and it has smooth base flow time series. So next is the factors that affecting the accuracy. It has three main factors that affecting the accuracy, which is precipitation, air temperature, and also base flow general capacity. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adita Binti Muhammad Zain, and I would like to present about the summary of the studies. For UKIH method, this method is to finding the turning point. So how to find the turning point is by separate the block day by day with 5-day non-overlapping blocks. Then label the block with Q1, Q2 or Q3 until the end of the block. And then choose the group that meet the requirement. So by this group, we can find the central value of the selected group to find the turning point. For hydrograph separation program method, by using the equation n equal to a power of 0.2 to estimate the movement of period in and flow. When the window median depth is bottom to the stream flow, it's called a local minimum point. So by connecting this local minimum point, we can define the base flow hydrograph. For line and Hollick method, this method actually uses the frequency filter. It's based on the assumption that filtering low frequency base flow from high frequency quick flow. Next is Chapman and Maxwell method. This is a new method that the base flow stay regular after the fast flow has ceased. And then the last one is the Eckhart filter, which is this filter use two parameter, recursive visual filter, wherein the outflow from the aquifer is assumed to be directly proportionate to its storage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is Aminajla binti Ahmad Tazli. I will present about recommendation and conclusion. For recommendation, we choose Eckhart method as the best method to determine the base flow separation, since it divides stream flow into two elements, which are direct runoff and base flow. So why Eckhart method is the best method? Because it has the highest NSE median value with KGE median value, and it is also used as the reverse filter to generate listing BFI max settings for various catchments, and it is not affected by characteristics of catchments. For conclusion, base flow is the oldest, slowest decay flow which is a part of the stream flow. It is frequently linked to groundwater processes and cannot be traced back to particular storm. The ecological health of rivers and the reasonable distribution of water supplies are essential. So from the 5 methods researched on our project, the best method to determine the base flow separation is Eckhart method.